Welcome back to another rendition of the Movie Club. How you doing, buddy? You well?
Yeah,
It's been a while. The first couple have gone out now, dude, and we're cooking. I'm very proud of how this is going now. I'm so happy with how it's been.
Yeah, the reception of the first couple, 3.
Yeah,
I want to say at this point,
3
has been nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hungry, so give us more.
We're gonna give you more. And moving on to that, we watched the French horror movie MadS, or Mad capital S. The synopsis, this one goes like something like this. A teenager who stops off to see his dealer to test a new drug before heading off for a night of partying. On the way home, he picks up an injured woman and the night takes a surreal turn. That is such a good synopsis to summarize this movie. It's rated MA. I watched it on Shudder. It is streaming on Shudder if you want to watch it. And I discovered this one through Shudder. They put a trailer up and I saw probably about 30 seconds of the trailer and then I went, nope, I want to witness one. I want to witness this one. I don't want any spoilers. So I went into it nearly blind. I watched it a second time. First time I watched it a couple of weeks ago and it dropped. And then the second time I watched in preparation for this. The marketing for this was great because it was like, it's a horror movie and shot in one take. And I was like, I'm sold, like straight away. And the reason I recommended it is because I think it's really fucking good. And I'd love to know what you think because you saw it for the first time recently.
Yeah. Well, on paper, I should love this movie. I should love it on paper.
Oh no. Oh no.
There's a little bit of surrealism,
Yeah.
It has one of those almost found footage type elements. Not quite, but it's like a fake. You're following one guy and it's like, there seems to be voyeur or something, though it's never addressed. It's just the effect. Right. There's a little bit of blood. There's zombies. I kind of like zombies.
Did you see that coming?
The zombie?
Yeah. I want to get your gauge on it.
Well, I only really knew... only thing I saw was just the title, and that is from France. And I thought, all right, cool. Our first French movie. Probably, a long time coming at this point. France has a lot of horror films.
Totally.
Especially a lot of modern horror films. So I thought, all right, cool, France.
Also some classics too, like MadS and there's so many great French horror movies.
Yeah, Demon Lover and such.
Right.
It's not really horror, I guess. But and I saw there was one take and I thought, oh, did I like Birdman? I can't remember. That was one take. Let's see if I like this.
Yeah, right, of course. Birdman.
And I liked it. But I feel like there were points where it just kind of dragged, like particularly the party scene. It just kind of lost me for a bit. I was
the build up.
Yeah, I felt like I thought the ending was really nice and strong. Like the entire stuff with Julia towards the end, very good. I liked bits of the romance story. Anna, I don't know. That kind of I thought that was the weakest part of that. I didn't feel like it was much.
Anna's the final girl? No,
that's Julia.
Oh, sorry, so middle. Oh, really? So you didn't enjoy her segment?
I enjoyed like small aspects, but again, I thought it was kind of meandering.
Okay.
At some points, and it just kind of I don't know if I was just not in the right state of mind to consume this, but I feel like it's a pretty short film, and I just felt, oh wow, I'm feeling the length.
I think that's a great way to look at it, is you treat the film as like 3 parts. Yeah. You've got the main character, remind me his name.
Roma, I believe.
You think he is the main character, right? He's like act 1. It's like introduction, set up, what's going on. And I think the film does a really good job of making you second guess everything. I was like certain that this film was going to end in a way where it turns out that the experimental drug he took, which is quite a throwaway moment for that first scene where he's like, oh, I've got some new shit. And he's like, yeah, I'll try it. I had a feeling that the film was going to reveal that he was just tripping the whole time. I was like, that would be so... Right. So I was worried. But the film did a great job making you think otherwise. I thought the way they used the eyes was really cool. There's that really cool shot when he's in the thumping nightclub room in that house party, and he's looking at the light, and his eyes are just like the light keeps flashing.
Yeah.
And his eye, So that's like Act 1 set up. Then he obviously gets kidnapped. Then we get the second character, which is I think that's where all the action lies. That's where a lot of the realization moment happens, and then we have the final act with Anna, right?
Or Julia.
Julia, sorry. Yeah, my bad. But I feel like the way that they all passed the baton was fucking so clever. And when you actually think about this, right? It's one take. How the hell did they pull that off?
Yeah, I looked at an interview with David Moreau, and he said they shot this over 5 days. So it all kind of genuinely was one take.
Yeah.
So this must have been a pretty strenuous shooting schedule.
Yeah.
And I'll get to this point. At one point, he said, like, that guy who played Anna, apparently she was, like, really intense about it. And the scene where she's, like, biting Julia, apparently she just bit her for real.
Oh, wow. They looked real.
Yeah, I mean, like, shit, I've seen bites.
Yeah.
It looked like a bite to me.
I was just blown away by it. It's it's up there for me of this year. Like, this year I've been very spoiled, but for me, it's like such a gem that I just fell in love with almost instantly. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
it did kind of take a minute.
I don't know what it was, really. I don't know. Maybe I've just seen a lot of French horrors recently where they feel like they all have this kind of like, I don't know. I thought it got a bit too repetitive with like the passing of the I don't know if it needed like a 3-act thing or because I feel like you could kind of sum this up with 1 or 2 of the characters and it can be just as effective.
I didn't see that coming either. I thought we'd be following Roma for the whole film.
Yeah. I mean, I think I suspected something when he was like, when they had the bathroom scene where the 2 girls are talking. And it was like, they're focusing on these people more than anyone else. They must be involved.
That was a cool scene as well, like the way that his face like looked weird in the mask.
The mask was very funny.
Yeah. It's like really entertaining. I can see what you mean about the setup because I think that, when the whole patient gets in the car and it's a long-winded scene of her in the car and then he gets to the house and then she disappears and then it takes a while to build up to the chaos.
I think I liked this more when it was starting to get like a bit experimental. Like there's a scene where I think Roman's walking in the street and the camera gets kind of like feathery and it gets quite ethereal. And I thought this is kind of beautiful. I really like this aspect. Yeah. And anytime it felt like a fake documentary, I thought, I just kept thinking, found footage would have been very good for this. I would have really liked to see this in found footage, but I guess we have rec or whatever. But this is like
rec exists.
Yeah. But this I thought, oh man, there's a good I can't really say again if it's found footage, it's an entirely different movie. But the concept is all very cool. And I don't know, I wanted to like it a lot more than I did. I didn't dislike it. I liked it a bit. I liked it quite a bit, to be honest. I thought it was fine. It was pretty good. I thought especially liked when it would just play these like funky bass lines. And I thought, oh, nice. I'm getting a little groovy here.
Yeah.
Again, the score in these films keeps being a big highlight for a lot of these. I think stands to say how important that is to horror music and such. I just kind of wish they kept up the more experimental stuff. I thought it was really like coming into its own there. And then it would just shift right into just, it's time to move on to the next character. Yeah. Which I guess I did have complaints about being too meandering, but I think I want meandering with no like purpose as opposed to, it's clearly like leading somewhere. It just feels like it has to go there as opposed to just kind of guiding you and floating you into that space. You know?
The one part of the film that I didn't see, kind of took me by surprise, I'd say, was when we learned more about the scale. I thought it was going to be a very isolated story about this little like house party infection, basically. How everyone got infected at a house party and it was going to be like a localized event. But as we realized in that final act, like when we see the explosions in the background. I mean, we'll talk about the final shot and final bit anyway, but it's like I didn't expect it to be I didn't expect it to be an apocalypse movie, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't expect it to be like end of the world shit. The thing that stuck with me, not to like jump to the end, but this is like feels like appropriate, but the thing that really stuck with me was the bleakness of the world that Julia now inhabits. Like, they did a really good job at the end with the soldier like pulling the mask off and telling her the reality of the situation. And that shot of Julia just like right at the end where she's sitting up against the glass and you see the explosions in the back, and she realizes that the world that she now is living in, she can't make a noise. She can't turn on lights. And oh, by the way, you're also heavily pregnant.
Yeah.
And there's no one that can like, that is the most bleak ending, right?
Yeah, I guess she like kind of gives in because she's laughing and clapping
and then
away.
That's it. And it's the acting again. It's as the insanity takes over and reality sits in, and the way she kind of jumps between like being super sad and super happy, like crying and then laughing about her situation, is so like, it's like a weirdly human thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it lends into the virus too, because like one of my favorite scenes is when her friend's on the bike with her on the back seat, and it's like this really beautiful, scary dance they're doing where she's just trying to like lock in and drive.
Yeah.
But her friend's on the back, like going through the infection or whatever. She's like covering the eyes, and then she's like laughing, and then she's like crying, and then she's like biting her. And it's like, and the way the music's done, it's like this really beautiful sort of dance they do on this bike. And the shot is like 2-3 minutes long, right? Yeah. And it reminded me so much of, and this is going to sound really weird, it reminded me so much of that scene in Pinocchio when he's running down the street.
I got that too. Yeah. I was like, I thought, oh man, this does feel like kind of similar. I feel it. Yeah. And I thought that was probably the strongest scene in the film.
So good. I could watch that scene on its own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Julia was really great in all of this. I think her acting was great. I think it's pretty interesting just to see, like, usually in most films, I guess, with the person covering the eyes, and then that would be like the big zombie thing. But that's just kind of like a background while Julia's just trying to survive and her friend is completely far gone. I say friend, she kind of fucked her over.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a pretty good scene. I thought that was a great scene.
I think all of them, like, yeah, the way they deal with I love that it's not just like, oh, I'm infected, I'm going to bite your head off now. The way it's like the human element keeps coming through, like that in that same scene just before the bike or just after the bike, maybe when they ditch the bike, there's that really great shot where she's either running away or she's biking away, and you can hear Anna screaming for help, like, please don't leave me. And she's like, please come back, Julia, please don't leave me. And then the next thing she says, she's like, I'm going to rip your fucking head off. Like, and I just love how the infection takes its toll, like, very abruptly in like random moments. And it's not just like straight, oh, now I'm going to try and eat you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I fucking loved it so much, dude.
It's pretty cool.
I really loved it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good movie. I just wish it was maybe like 20 minutes shorter. I might have more appreciation for it. Maybe it's one thing I might have to watch again. I did only watch it once. So
I'd say second viewing is worth it. Yeah, I enjoyed it second time around just as much. You find yourself more. You appreciate the first act more, I think.
Yeah, there is a lot to like. It's just that I wish it was a bit. I feel like it needed to be a bit more concise. But I don't want to rag on it. I think I'd be interested to see this director's like other works and anything else he does, because I feel like there's a vision here, and I want to see the vision through. And I think he's got ideas. So I don't. It's not nothing I'll write him off for. I think. No, it's a nice taste of what he's probably capable of. I hope he's capable of anyway. To me. What else did I enjoy from this? I thought,
Yeah. Let's circle back. Let's not just jump to the end. What else did you take from it?
the animal noises when they were like transforming were really funny, man.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and
that's the other thing.
twitching.
The fucking twitching was insane. My god, I remember it. Yeah, I remember I did a thing for TikTok about this one, and I remember I commented that I was like, "Fuck." The infection twitches were so real, dude. I liked it when it got like the bit just to before you said that when she goes to that nightclub place and she asks for help. That was a cool scene, man. When she's in the bathroom and then they show up, like, but she's doing that again. She's doing like the weird twitching. They all just think she's high on drugs. Sorry, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna comment. Like the patient in the car, she brings out this phone. The fuck is this phone, man?
What's is it a walkie-talkie or like
I don't know what that is.
This is
it's a new age tech to me. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
this looks so like this is.
I guess my question is, when that scene happened, did you know? Oh, they're doing an infection thing.
Well, they mentioned that she was missing like a tongue and she was biting people. And I thought, this is a zombie movie.
I didn't clock that dialogue. My first time around. First time around, I was so sold on the idea that he was hallucinating.
Oh, right.
That when I just really zoned out about but I do remember they said, "Oh, patient, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, maybe this isn't a new drug. Maybe this is just like an infection." But then, how do they get infected?
Oh man, they didn't explain that.
I guess maybe because she like.
Wait, was there not something in the cocaine?
Well, he took it, and then, but the patient, that's what I mean. Like, where'd the patient come into all this? Or maybe the drug was like related to the place where the patient was from. I
feel like,
I mean?
Again, I need to brush up my knowledge. Very unprofessional. I feel like there was something with the drugs that transformed them into this.
Well, they all did it, right? The people who became infected. Everyone,
yeah. This motherfucker was pregnant doing cocaine. Like, come on.
Yeah, you know what? Fair play. Yeah, it was good. What else do you have down for that? Any other notes?
I mentioned that of course the French movie has a little bit of a penis shot in the shower scene.
When he's in the shower?
Like, this is France. I'm glad they did this. I'm glad I keep seeing this.
Yeah, I mean that was a cool scene where he's like in the house and the woman's like in the bathtub. And she's like crawling around on the floor. And it's like,
I think a lot of it's filmed quite strongly.
Beautifully shot.
There was another really funny scene where Anna's like going mad and she just tosses a dude into the lake.
She steals the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, she eats the guy. And he's like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
He's like, "What the hell, man?"
That's what I mean. It's funny. It's funny. It's like the virus takes, like, if this was a traditional zombie flick, she would have just like bit him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea of her just like yeeting him into the lake and stealing his bike is pretty funny.
I did like the drama between Anna and Julia. You know, I thought it was fun. I would have liked to see a bit more of that.
Bit subtle, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they did this because fucking Julia stole her man and got pregnant from him, and like
that's what you know. What, that's so true. But it's so well done that like you don't need to know more. Although it would have been cool for like our entertainment.
Give them a spin-off.
Yeah, but the fact that we pieced all that together in a couple lines of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean they got all the information concisely put, and delivered to you in pretty short shooting schedule. 5 days is actually quite
5 days. Yeah, I just the thing that I'm just so I think this adds to why I love it so much is like the logistics of pulling that off must have been. Like, I can't even begin to work out how they worked out all the individual pieces of that movie. Like, especially the street scenes and then the transitions from, because they're always moving. That's what I love about this film is everyone's always moving. It's like one shot, but it's never really stationary for too long. You have like brief respites, like when he's in the bathroom. But as soon as he gets kidnapped, the whole movie is just constantly moving.
Yeah.
She's in the taxi. She has to get out of the taxi. She's running down the street. She gets shot in the back and survives, right? She's then in the nightclub. She's running out the nightclub. She's then on a bike again, and she meets Julia. It's just like you're always moving with this movie, and I love it. It's so intense, like the velocity of it. There was not really a time that I felt like I could pause.
Yeah,
without like it being midway through something really crazy.
Yeah, they packed a lot of action in. Some of the mutations I found a bit goofy, man. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, especially Anna, she's like, or whatever. She rubs her hands on the bloody hands in the mirror. I thought,
oh yeah,
so telegraphed. And I just,
it felt. It reminded me a lot, like I said, of like the Pinocchio scene, but also it reminded me a lot of 28 Days Later. I'm
yet to see that.
Wow, maybe we'll add that one to the list because that's a zombie classic.
Yeah.
In terms of the virus and how it affects people, I just thought this movie as well. It was so. I don't want to say the word textured, but it was really gritty.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It felt like you said. It felt found footagey. It felt like someone was filming them the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's necessary to have this in a pretty like how would you say? What am I trying to say?
Like guerrilla.
Yeah, I think it adds a little bit different flavor to the horrors we see at the moment. It's all pretty cinematic and
especially since it is a one take. It's nice to have that documentary type movement and camera work and quality and the film wasn't afraid to like show like the imperfections of that. Like there's scenes where they transition from light to dark and the exposure's fucked. And he goes into the bathroom and it's like too dark, but
yeah,
it adds to the vibe, you know.
I think they mentioned that they actually filmed like at nighttime and at daytime for these scenes, so that the correct times, because that probably explains why it was shot in such a short amount of time. They had to get the right timing.
The sunset, yeah. Well, there's a sunrise at the end. I forget there is a sunset moment, right? He at the start. It's like daylight when he leaves the guy's apartment, right? The plug. I wonder how we didn't find out how he got on, but
he's chilling, man. He made money. He was like, you're gonna go on holiday, you rich kid. Whatever. Just take your fucking drugs.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I love the movies that make you ask questions. Like, I don't want things spelled out, and this movie did a very good job of not making me feel like I knew what was going on. I knew just enough. Anymore, I feel like it would have been too American, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it didn't beat you over the head with.
There was no exposition scientist that would show up. But like right at the end, he's like, "Well, this is what it is," and just like tells you. Do you know what I mean? There was no. What's the guy from Smile? Mr. Morris, bro. There was no.
Hey, he's the king, man.
No, Dr. Morris.
Dr. Morris. Come on, leave Dr. Morris alone. The real bad guy here is the motherfucker from Oddity. That's the guy you're thinking of, Mr. I'm a science and logic guy.
I'm a man of science and logic.
That's the man you should be.
I'm a man of science.
It's a man of science and logic.
Shut up. Loser.
Not to piss off the Oddity fans again.
Well, we haven't done that yet. It's coming.
Yeah, but I'm anticipating the heat, and
I think we'll be fine.
I don't apologize, but you know, you like the other films we talk about. We like other movies.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this is you can love and hate stuff.
Yeah, and you guys might like MadS. Watch MadS.
I think there's something there for everyone.
Yeah, this is like not a hard sell, I'd say.
No. I mean, people don't like subtitles. Sorry.
Well, they'd have to just get over that. I think.
Yeah. Well, some people don't like subtitles, man. It's crazy.
Get a French person to explain it to you. I don't know.
I don't even think you know what? Don't even need subtitles.
No, you can figure it out. Fine.
You can figure it out.
You can get by just fine without subs on this, I think.
Yeah, you can work out something's not right and character relationships. Yeah. Anything else about MadS? Anything else you want to say about MadS while we're here? I feel like there's more we could say. I'll find some trivia while you're doing that.
Give me some trivia. I said this makes me want to play Silent Hill because of the patient and the bandage. And I thought I would like to play Silent Hill right now.
Damn.
And it's
Yeah.
like it felt like a very like Silent Hill type location. And when you got like is it a hospital or is it a house? Because the location seemed to like morph and mutate.
What, in Silent Hill?
No, in this movie, like
he's in his house, right?
Yeah, it's in his house, but there's points where I was like, oh, this feels like Silent Hill. I would like to play Silent Hill right now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's very Silent Hill, like the small town, no one around. Like when she's in the cab with that guy, and then like the people show up and just start shooting the cab. It's like, and when they're on the streets, it just feels like a small residential town. There isn't actually a lot of trivia I can find for this one, other than the fact that it was shot in one tracking shot with no with no cuts.
Yeah, I think that's the main one.
But just let that sink in for a second, man.
It's quite nuts. It was quite nuts.
All of that without one stop.
That's very impressive.
I just can't even begin to work out how they pulled that off. Like logistically, there must have been so many people helping make that.
I don't know what is the budget on this.
That's an excellent question. I'll look into it now, but MadS is looking. It did go to box offices, made $32,000.
$32,000.
Yeah, they make a lot of money. So I don't know. It's all just about this one take, man.
People are just like, wow, it's one fucking take, man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's also hard to look into this movie because whenever you search it, Mads Mikkelsen pops up. Honestly, you search Mads with an S, it's Mads Mikkelsen just pops up. I swear to God.
So you got to do MadS 2024.
Yeah. Budget. I can't see anything about budget. The worldwide box office was $35,000. I don't think it got a distributor, which is insane.
No, this hasn't got at least like a not cinematic release over here. This seems to be making its traction on Shudder.
Yeah.
Maybe Tubi.
Yeah, so you can watch it on Prime with a pre-subscription or Shudder. I think this is like exactly why Shudder exists.
Yeah, they have a lot of this stuff,
because,
right?
Yeah, this type of movie just wouldn't be brought to cinemas. You'd lose money.
Shudder, Tubi.
But Shudder, this is peak Shudder content, dude. But yeah, I mean, it was like, I fucking loved it. It was technically unbelievable, visually like beautiful, sound design I thought was incredible. Performances outside of like a few of the frat bros at the party was stellar. Like everyone was incredible. I thought especially Anna and Julia were standouts just because of their range of like screaming and shouting and crying and then pissing and throwing up. Like, and that final shot of Julia by the mirror is like peak for me. It's up there for me this year for sure.
In films wise or just horror?
What I've seen this year, movies, yeah.
Oh wow.
And horror this year, I mean, that's hard because we've been very spoiled, but this is 2024, by the way. I feel like this one will go out before New Year, but might bump this one up the roster. But yeah, I just loved it, man. I'm going pretty mad for MadS.
You go mad for MadS.
Yeah.
I'm MadS.
But yeah, do you have any final summary thoughts about this one?
I think.
Are you impressed with me for bringing something to the table that wasn't American trash?
I'm very happy. Yeah. All right. I knew you had it in you anyways, but I'm glad you did.
Because what have I actually suggested so far, bro? Like the Blair Witch, Smile 2.
So to Saw, Unfriended.
I did Signs.
I did Signs.
Oh, Unfriended. Yeah, I'm like the American trash guy. So this for me was a big step.
Yeah, I'm happy you did this, man. I'm glad you showed me something French. I was like, oh, we do need something. We do need to get a little French over here.
Mm-hmm.
We've been neglecting France, which I hope to do more in. I think they have a wide range. France, Italy, that's another one.
Mm-hmm. They've been cooking in the bag.
I'm glad to hear you talk about this. I'm fascinated why you like this. Well, not that sounds mean. I do like this movie.
Okay, so I wonder, and this is just me, I wonder if I'd be so smitten with it if it wasn't so technically sound. Like let's take out the one-shot element.
Well, if you take out the one-shot element, you change the whole film, then it's not the same film.
Yeah. But so if it was shot traditionally, I don't know if I would have been so gusto about it.
I think that's a difficult question. Because if you change how it's shot, then you change what the film is. And the film was pretty much made to do one shot. I think that was the plan all along.
Well, okay. Imagine it's like traditionally shot, story-wise, but purely story. I don't know if I would be so smitten with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's very...
on paper, the story is very like...
It's pretty regular.
By the numbers, right? Yeah.
Section. But yeah, I don't know how it would come across if who would be directing it. It was traditionally shot.
You're right.
So I don't think you got to worry about hypotheticals like that. If you like the film, you like the film.
I did like the film very much.
Yeah. There you go. That's all you need. You don't need to justify it with hypotheticals.
I'm going mad for MadS, baby.
He's mad for MadS. You heard it here first.
But what's your wrap up? Sorry, I keep butting in.
I say David Moreau. Let's see more. Let's see what else you got in the tank. Brother, Julia, you're a great actress. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Let's see you in big roles.
Yeah.
And I'd say I'm maybe not mad for MadS, but I'm a bit of a freak for the MadS. Pause.
Something that I think we should start doing at the end is saying, if you could give this movie one award, what would you give it?
One award?
Like in terms of like traditional award categories, like in Oscars and BAFTAs. And
like actual. I can't make up a dumb little
thing. I mean, you can make one up if you want, but if it makes it easier, you could think about traditional.
Best animal noises goes to MadS. Let's see what I give it.
I'd give it best emotional breakdown in a bathroom scene of the year.
Nice. I'd say best.
And that's crazy because I saw The Substance. So that has a really good emotional breakdown scene.
I'd say that this also gets another award for the most flippant reaction to your boyfriend cheating on you and getting another woman pregnant. You're just like,
this guy. I'm just going to get a cab and call it.
Just kind of left. I was like, all right, that's funny.
But when she's in that cab and she's like,
she's pretty good. She's going through.
Yeah, it feels real.
Yeah, it feels real. It's just the initial. Feels real. Yeah, the initial thing was I just thought was very funny. It was a very funny reaction to being cheated on and betrayed by your best friend.
This fucking guy.
He's a piece of work. I don't trust the fucker.
Yeah. MadS. Oh, what did you say at the end of the Red Spirit Lake one that really made me laugh? Oh yeah, beans out.
Beans out.